XM 105, Sirius 206, the Opie and Anthony channel. The Ron and Fez show starts right now.
She began to whine out, jealousy scream, waiting at the light. Oh, buddies. It's the Ron and Fez Show. On what science is now calling a Tuesday. Or as we now like to call it, the National League 3 in a fucking row, sitting on top of the interleague struggle.
I feel like a dick.
You look like a dick after backing those guys up.
I still back them up.
You know why?
Fuck it. Yeah. Why?
Because you live in a world with no pitching. You live in a world with no pitching, and everything looked like the fucking American League games look exactly the same as the home run derby. Like, hey, just groove one, let me hit it out.
Look. Fucking Verlander reigning Cy Young Award winner. What about that? Hey, you look like shit yesterday.
On your side.
You got
on your side, sure, over there. Of course he is.
What the fuck happened?
What always happens? It's a fucking constant now. It's 3 in a row.
I feel like dog shit, man.
Really, you care that much?
It hurts. It's fucking...
It's embarrassing.
This game matters.
It's embarrassing.
This fucking game matters. Home field advantage is fucking huge.
Forget even home field advantage. Just the fucking fact of one league is way better than the other. One league...
Just one game.
Went out, fucking, what, 6 runs in the first inning?
Yeah, 5, 6.
That's like a fucking softball game. That's the funny thing about it.
I saw it was like at the 4th. I was like, all right, maybe we can fucking pull out of this.
No, I know it was over.
Nope, it was fucked.
I know it was over. Those guys were fucking doing one-hitters in the fucking dugout. No one gave a shit. Up on the iBank today, it's the prep site for the Ron and Fez Show. To me, one of the greatest moments in the history of baseball, when they forced Chipper Jones to be Newt Rockne, and he gave this drab of a speech.
Stirring.
Guys belong here, all right? It doesn't matter whether you're 19 or you're 40, like me, all right? We are all equals here. 1, 2. Win 3, that's a winning streak. We got an opportunity to do that tonight. And I am not going out losing my last one, all right? So you with me?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Sure, Chipper. They should have brought in Al Pacino to do Any Given Sunday speech. That would have been better.
Yeah.
Inches and feet.
That's what all it's about. I don't know whether any of you guys saw Serpico. It is so funny when someone... It's almost like when you're at a friend's house and then they'll go, well, why don't you do the prayer? Dear Jesus of food.
Thanks for this stuff. We're going to eat.
There's potatoes, I see.
There's a meat dish.
Yeah. It's already awkward enough eating at someone else's home, Lord, but you put it upon yourself to now have me speaketh your will. It was very, very fucking funny, though. And when I saw that, I'm like, the fucking National League is just going to lay down on this prick anyway. I want the guy from Indianapolis. He called and hung up. I hope he calls back. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. There's something perfect about the All-Star game, though, the way it comes midsummer. You know, it's not some end-of-the-year thing like with football, and obviously you're not worried as much about getting hurt, so guys are really playing.
Hell yeah.
Let's go over here to Derek in Utah. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, the reason Verlander had such a hard time last night is because he's banging Kate Upton now.
What? God bless him. Kate Upton picture's up. It's on the iBank today. It's Kate Upton in her underwear.
Oh boy.
Let's go over here to David. David.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
I was wondering how somebody at damn draft got a nickname like Chipper.
I think that he had that since he was a little boy. I don't know whether they saw Fargo and his dad's like, I'm going to stick you in the Chipper, boy. I don't know what happened. You know, my one of my producers from years ago in Florida actually played against Chipper, pitched against him.
Oh, shit.
And bragged about it every day. You know, and like if any phone callers gave him shit, he goes, look, in high school I pitched against Chipper Jones and I fucking done it. I go, what did Chipper do? He goes, oh, he ripped my tits off. He just fucking went yard on me every time he came up. Could you imagine any of those guys when they were like high school age? Just the domination. They were probably hitting 850.
Giants among children, just destroying the ball.
And there's always one guy in the neighborhood who's like fucking light years ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
And yet that guy never makes the pros.
I know a guy made a AA, but he was a monster in fucking Little League. He destroyed it.
AA ball players are fucking great. You're just like, well, you blow because you're not like Jeter. That's the worst thing about being a fan is that you act like people suck when they really don't.
He's better than everyone else, but
Yeah.
just playing against other fucking ridiculously talented
He's
fucking
just a
players.
guy who made a fucking error at a crucial time.
Bullshit. The guy's a choke guard, a scumbag. What's he even doing there? Trade him. Fuck him.
Let's go over here to John. John, you're on Run of Fez.
No, about it is.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I gotta ask a question here. Who was the blonde, kind of dressed up like Marilyn Monroe behind home plate? They came to add one special little feat in that row for her.
Yeah, that's Gina Lollobrigida, and they made it all happen for her, and they made everything come together. It was really, really nice. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Up on the iBank today, and you know we're not used to the checkpoint stuff. We heard this from a lot of truckers in Texas, where they get stopped as if they are at the border, but they're 100 miles away from the border. That there are places in the country where the police will just stop people.
And it's not like a Dewey check. It's not like a...
No. It's just like, who are you? Where are you going?
That's weird.
You know, where were you born? Just checking up, I guess, to see that you're an American. This guy went in a different direction. We'll play a little bit of it for you. And he's videotaping himself.
What's up, man?
How you doing today, sir?
Good.
You a U.S. citizen?
That's my business.
Well, it's our business to ask. Are you a U.S. citizen or not?
You can ask, that's fine.
And you have to answer me, or I have to detain you until you can either tell me that you're a U.S.
Well, I don't have to answer you because I have rights as an American.
Sir, go ahead and pull over there. We're behind that other vehicle if you do me a favor.
No thanks. I'd like to just go on my way.
You can go anyway as soon as you tell me if you're a U.S. citizen or not.
Well, you know, I didn't know that I have to go around proving that I'm a citizen. Do I need to, like, show my papers like the Nazis, or...
Immigration.
I'm not... Am I immigrating somewhere, or...
Negative, but we're supposed to check on
Is this Mexico, or...
the United States.
Huh?
Just answer the question yes or no.
Well, let me ask you this. You know, is this Nazi Germany now? I have to show my papers?
Hold on a second. It's a simple yes or no. You can either answer it or we can detain you here until we figure out whether you're a U.S. citizen.
Well, you know what's more simple is the fact that my freedom is a little more important than you seem to think. And that, you know, setting up checkpoints where people have to prove that they're a citizen is not something that America is supposed to be about. So, I'm not sure if you understand that.
Huh?
You know.
He doesn't want to tell me he's a citizen.
Well, I'm just driving down the road here and I've been stopped for some reason and I'm, you know, supposed to, no thank you.
I want you to pull up secondary, sir.
No thanks. I want to go free on my way.
Okay.
I'm, you know, here I am just going about my own business and, you know, I don't need to stop at a checkpoint where I have to prove who I am because this is America. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, did I stumble into Mexico or is it still United States?
This is the United States.
Okay, well then therefore I should have the freedom to travel unmolested because I'm in America here. So,
Go ahead, go.
go ahead and go where?
Keep going on the road.
Okay, see you later.
See, here's the real funny part about that, too, is like, at first you're like, this guy's being a dick, he's going to get in trouble. But you can see that they're going, hey, no one's ever called us on this. But yeah, we're not really in charge of making you pull over there
I guess you don't
and
have to.
ask him what you're doing. It's really funny because the comments are up on the iBang, and it kind of runs back and forth between what a great patriot and what a dick. Why don't you just show them, you know, your cards? But he claims this happens like 3 times to him on the same drive.
That doesn't make any sense. The traffic must be crazy if they're pulling over car after car after car.
He actually says that he gets stuck in traffic jams because this stuff goes on all the time.
What What's happening where they have to fucking check just random drivers?
No,
Shit.
I've never seen that. One time I was driving into California, and we got stopped, and me and a buddy, and we're like, what the fuck? We're fucked, right? Because, we were fucking taking something out there. And they're like, do you have any fruits and vegetables? And we're like, what? Wait, what? Huh? What kind of trick fucking question is this? And we're like, no, man, why would anyone drive around with fruits and vegetables?
Weird.
Well, we do have foliage. I'm not going to fucking, it's in the trunk. And then there's also a box that's taped.
It's the wheel well.
The fucking wheel. As if that isn't the first spot.
Yeah, right? I know exactly where they're not going to fucking find it. Right fucking here, dude.
But I guess that this checkpoint stuff happens in the Southwest quite a bit.
I say just answer the question. Those guys are just, they're out there in the Texas heat or wherever this is.
But his point is, don't be. Now, I get where you're coming from, but I was once a year, the full UN is in New York City.
Yeah. And
then when that happens, suddenly there's guys with automatic weapons 2 blocks from my house.
That's nuts.
And I'm walking to work, and the guy goes, sir, can I ask you where you're going? I'm going about my business. You know what I mean? Like, you suddenly feel like, wait, you're acting like this is at my home. And it is. I get that you got a job to do. You're protecting these foreigners. But that don't have shit to do with me. I live over here. I'm the one who lives here, not you guys. Here is Patrick. You're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, guys. I commute from Las Cruces, New Mexico to Alamogordo from the Air Force. And every day in my commute, we're like 45 minutes from the border. I got to go through one of these checkpoints, and it's a joke. All they do is they ask you, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" You say yes, and you keep going. And if you look white, that's it.
Yeah, I mean the guy certainly came off as a U.S. citizen.
Southern accent.
But that wasn't enough for them. Let's go over here to Mike in Arizona. Mike, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, out here in Arizona on Interstate 8, they've got one between Yuma and Phoenix, and I've been pulled across the side in that one where the guys actually, it's like an hour from the border, and the guys actually asked me where I worked with the name of the company on the side of my truck. And they ask you these weird, inane questions, and then they've actually pulled me over to the side and wanted to inspect the truck a couple of times, and they're nowhere near the border, and they're just stopping everybody, and they actually look for drugs. They're not just checking for citizenship.
Which is fucking crazy. I mean, that
insane.
is just fucking crazy. The whole
there was
thing.
actually a guy at the one in Arizona. There was a guy that actually got tased because he refused to answer their questions. And the Arizona DPS showed up and tased him and dragged him out of his car. He was a Baptist minister somewhere in Mesa, Arizona. They tased him and dragged him out of the car because he wouldn't answer their questions.
All right, let's go over here to David. David, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ron, I get pulled over at the same stops, but I think it's all right. I have no problem with it. I don't get pulled over probably as frequently as your last caller, but it's on known smuggling routes, so they've got a probable cause to just pull over the traffic, inspect who's there.
I disagree because that's fucking Nottingham fucking forest shit. You know what I mean? That you're traveling along through the forest, and here's these sheriff's men who want to look in your wagon and under your robes, and that's not the fucking point of this whole deal. The whole point is not, hey, we have problems, so we're going to harass private fucking citizens. I don't think I'm being some psycho fucking right-wing radio host when I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not talking about black helicopters. I'm not talking about some shadow government.
Illuminati.
I'm just saying a guy driving down the fucking road is minding his own business, and until he fucks up, we've got to treat him as like he's an innocent dude doing his own business.
But it's a simple question on a known crime route.
Yes, but he's not a criminal. You've got to somehow feel good about being a fucking citizen. You know what I'm saying? You have to feel like, hey, these rights, like when we sit around and do the whole Memorial Day, and they fought and died for our freedoms, blah, blah, blah. This is one of them. This is almost saying to anyone who's ever fought in a war against the Nazis, you know, some of those rights you died for really don't matter that much. I think it does matter that people are treated as if they are innocent until something comes up. Here's Tim in Florida. You're on Run Fez.
Yeah, Ron, right after 9/11, I'm traveling. I was Coast Guard like your brother, and I'm at an airport, and they asked me that question, has anybody unknown to you put something into your luggage? I'm like, I don't know. I can't answer that question. Well, just say no. I said, I can't because of the way you said it. 3 hours, because I had 3 hours of nothing to do.
You had time to kill.
Yeah, I had time to kill.
Yeah.
And so we sat at the table and went back for 3 hours. You would have loved it. I wish I could have taped it, but, you know, military.
Here's the thing that, you know, for on Fez's side. All right, Fez, let's just go with this, right?
Okay.
You're saying because crime happens, that everybody's a suspect, correct?
Right, yeah.
So what if they decide Chelsea is a place of known prostitution and drugs, and guys walking around in Chelsea are going to get fucking shaken down? Because you're riding on a fucking float that started because guys decided you're not going to come into bars and start asking us for ID. You're not going to fucking come into bars and ask us what we're doing there. We're fucking minding our own business. If this thing was happening in Harlem like this, people would be outraged, and they would have a right to be. I would be on their side. But for some reason, because you're saying it's just a white dude driving along, you're like, hey, why don't you stop being a dick? I don't think that they should be doing it, period. Somebody fucks up, yeah, go question that guy. But if they're not, I don't get the point. Ian in San Diego, you're on Run Fez.
Yeah, hey, just the checkpoints down here in San Diego are ridiculous. On my way to work in rush hour, they pull this shit where they pull all these cars in the middle of the road. They have the border agents up there. All you do is you inch forward, and they look at you for 2 seconds, and they wave you forward. Anybody that looks like they're out of this country, they pull over and they hassle. I mean, I got people that I work with from America here, and they get pulled over if they haven't shaved in a couple of days, and they look maybe a little swarthy, and it's just completely ridiculous.
If you're coming back from Mexico, if you're coming back from Canada, I understand we're saying that we're tightening up the borders and we're doing this and that. Everybody gets that. If you're 100 miles away from the border,
it's fucking nuts.
Driving the fuck around, and people are going to pull you over and ask you what you're doing there
for no reason,
where you're going, and who your parents are.
No thanks.
I don't get it. Now, if you watch this video, it happens to him again a little while later. It just keeps happening. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Let's go over here to Ryan in Texas. You're on Ron Fez.
Hey, Ron. I drive and work in the south part of Texas, and it is an annoyance, but with the amount of drug trafficking that's going on, as well as, you know, the illegal immigrant problem, it's a form of deterrent. And yes, it is annoying, but I'm going to tell you, you pulled over, handcuffed to the bench once the dogs have gotten on the car. So, I mean, yes, it may not be 100% effective, but
then why don't we treat the entire country like the fucking TSA? No matter where you're going, because some people smuggle fucking pot. Let's take the other 99.99% who've never been in the pot smuggling business and fucking roll them. And then when Willie Nelson has a joint, we're like, oh, you see?
That's it. It works.
That's what happens to these fucking tour buses. This is the exact area that they think they're fucking... No one knows how much fucking... If the roadie has a fucking joint, it's ridiculous. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here's Bill in Tennessee. You're on the Ron Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie. Yeah, I'm the guy who always hooks up Mikey, and I can tell you a couple things. They love to wake up the bands. Doesn't matter if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. They love to do it. I had one band where in McAllen, Texas, we were leaving, and that's exactly 4 o'clock in the morning. They're like, okay, we want to see everyone's citizenship, get everyone up. I'm like, Dude, the guys just went to bed. Like, they just played a show. They just went to bed. Well, get everybody up. I'm like, are you kidding me? And they do it for Bike Week in New Hampshire. They come down off the border, and they sit just north of Laconia. So as you're coming south, they stop you and check for your immigration because they get a lot of the Hells Angels that come down on Montreal.
It is insane to me. It's insane that, Bill, who drives all the time, sees this, and that American citizens are being woken up in the middle of the night and asked to show their papers. When you were a kid and you watched those World War II movies, the black and white ones that they shot during the war, that was the whole thing about the Nazis. We were like, oh my God, could you imagine living in a place where you had to show your papers?
Prove where the fuck you are?
Prove that you belong there on that road? Unfucking believable. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Jeff, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, I hate all this stuff that's going on, but you have to admit it's a direct result. Everybody wants to be safe. Everybody wants to live in bubble wrap, and this is just a direct result from that.
Yeah, but,
But people can't complain about illegal immigration.
I'm not.
I'm
not.
The people that do can't complain about it then not want something done about it.
But not all of us are complaining. And the people who complain about illegal immigration say seal the borders. They don't say start shaking people out in New Hampshire and in fucking West Virginia and in Ohio. That's insane. That's fucking crazy. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. The video is up on the iBank. And if, Fezzy, we were on the wrong side of this argument, they wouldn't be telling this guy just to go on their way. The fucking cops know they don't have a right to do this. And when someone says to them, I don't want to show you this, what I want to do is drive on, they say, finally, go ahead and drive on.
Okay, no problem.
If you were correct in what you were saying, if this was a legal fucking search, they'd be all over this dude. And they're probably told, hey, if somebody doesn't want to do this, the last thing we want to do is have to go in and prove this in court. He should be saying, no, I want to keep driving in a Spanish fucking accent. Travis, Kentucky, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
These guys are just lazy down south. If you drive up and down, the East Coast or, over on the east side here, 95, 75, 81, all that stuff, they pull over suspicious vehicles instead of stopping everybody. That's the way police work is supposed to be, not harassing American citizens inside your own border.
I agree with you. I agree that it used to be detective work.
No, just stop everyone. It's better that way.
Stop everyone is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Just like when you see those videos of them, with Barbara Walters making her lift her dress up or whatever, and you're like, Barbara Walters ain't going to blow up a fucking plane. Well, we're trying to prove something to everyone. Well, then that's not the fucking initial point anymore.
Going through customs is a fucking nightmare. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But you get that. You know what I mean? Like, you can understand that.
Well, yeah, there's actually...
But now that you're here in your own home...
You got through. You're
right. Fine. Let's go over, and this is his second checkpoint, I guess, that comes right after this one.
Thanks for taking my call. Yes, sir.
He's rocking some talk radio.
I'd like to tune this one a little bit, considering...
Go to secondary for me, sir, to the right?
No.
Ready to go to secondary, sir?
No, thank you.
To the right?
No. I don't know why you've held me up in this traffic jam for the last 20 minutes. This is the third checkpoint I've been through in the last couple hours.
Third in 2 hours.
No, thank you. I'd like to go free on my way, please.
Hey, get a Sue!
Get Sue. Sue will know what to do.
Oh, yeah, she's in charge.
Someone finally said no.
Try to secondary, refusing to go.
What's up, man?
What's up?
All right. Can we have you pull in secondary, please?
No, thank you. I'd like to go free on my way.
And why are you? Why don't you want to go secondary?
Maybe it's because I've just sat in traffic for the last 20 minutes, and I'm already running late, and I don't have time to stop at your Nazi checkpoint and show my papers today. You know, I thought this is America. I thought I had some freedom to travel unmolested, and I'm just trying to go about my business here. You know, I don't have time to play games with you guys. I don't know what you think you're doing here.
All right,
stopping me for no reason.
Heather, can you run this car really quick?
You know, you stopped me for no reason. I've waited in traffic for the last 20, 30 minutes that you guys created this traffic jam. I got places to go. I have to go make an honest living.
All right, hold on.
You know, and you guys want to screw around with me.
All right, man.
He gets a lot of calls though.
Right.
Oh yeah, blowing up. Probably selling drugs.
Why don't you want to pull over where we can check out your car?
What do you mean you're free? What?
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here's Katie in Tucson. You're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hi, I'm calling because I was stopped at the Yuma border. I had all my belongings in storage for 9 months, including a pipe one-hitter, which I actually forgot about in a Ziploc bag in my dresser drawer. Packed everything in a U-Haul, was driving down by myself, got stopped at the border in Yuma. They wanted to search my vehicle. I let them. And they had brought a dog out that found the pipe. There was no marijuana. It was a used pipe that had been in storage for 9 months. They handcuffed me. They proceeded to reward the dog in front of me for 10 minutes straight. And
Well,
it all ended with a...
It's a good dog.
I'm sorry?
Well, it goes back to this point. If you're really looking for smugglers, what does some fucking girl with a fucking one-hitter have to do with anything?
Exactly. I was 26 years old. I'm not a threat at all, and they know that. And they know that I would comply because I have no criminal history. I'm not the person that they should be after. I'm not who they're after.
No.
And I'm forever angry. And it ended with the felony charge.
Wow.
Shit.
Let's go over here to John. John, you're on the Run of Fez show. John.
Hi, yeah. I was just wanting to comment on Fez's point. I think he's more correct here. What is there to be concerned about at these checkpoints unless you're doing something wrong? And
do you understand that's exactly what the good Germans said? That's exactly what the fucking good Germans said. That if we just go along, they will be nice to us. What is wrong with saying this is not the fucking country that I was born into? That your grandfather would have shit to hear you saying what you're saying. He wouldn't have fucking believed it.
It is not the same America that my grandfather grew up in. And
then maybe you need to fucking battle to get it back. Maybe you need to fucking say, I'm going to put the same work into this country that my grandfather did, rather than wait for these other people to run the country the way that they think is proper. And again, I'm going to fucking go back to this. I'm not some conspiracy nut. I'm not somebody who's saying that all this shit is going down and you better arm yourself. No, but I'm saying American citizens have the right. I think the DUI checkpoints are bullshit. To fucking stop people because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and start to test people is crazy to me. And to fucking hear, well, we save lives, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't what we signed up for. Land of the free, home of the brave. You have to fucking be free and brave in this country. Not fucking safe and coddled.
Compliant.
Yeah, and seriously living your life as if you were a child. Now, if you go back to the way nobody answered me before, if we found out that they were rousting homosexuals downtown, everybody would be freaked out. If you found out that they were rousting fucking black people in Harlem or East New York,
It'd be huge
everybody, yeah, and they would have every right to it. And as a matter of fact, you hear that occasionally from those same groups of people.
Well, right now with the stop and frisk thing here in New York, that's the newest shit that everyone's freaking out over. That only targets minorities.
Jay in Texas, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Ron, how you guys doing? Hey, look,
Yeah.
to cross the checkpoint, it takes you seconds. The reason they're letting them pass and leave is because he's being an asshole. He's being an asshole, so proves he's an American. But they have no reason to let him go. And the other thing, it's not 3 hours away. Relative to the border, what he's doing is he's not on a major highway. He's running the back roads. He's running along along the border. Imagine you're running around New York. You're trying to get out of New York. There's a checkpoint all the way around New York, all the way around. So if you run into those back roads around New York, you're gonna hit what? You're gonna drive. How big is New York from where you're at to Buffalo? How far is that away?
I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. I have no idea what you're trying to set up with this.
Back roads?
Yeah, a back roads to me is a fucking road.
Yeah,
that's what a road is.
Fucking paved, ain't it?
I don't get this thing that somehow that you're on a legal street and that's worse. Let's go over here to Don in Texas before we move on.
Hey, Ronnie B. Hey, Fez.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm a truck driver, been a truck driver for 17 years. And when you come up to these checkpoints, as truck drivers, we have no rights. We have to show ID. We have to let them in our trucks. If they want to look in the trailer, we have to open them trailers just because we have a commercial license.
So they can take your commercial license.
As a CDL to drive a truck.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that, but I live in this truck. I live in this truck 3 weeks to a month a year. So it's like them coming into my house or coming into your house, and they go through all my stuff. They throw it out on the road. They go through it. They throw it out. They go through it, and they don't put it back. So what I do is I don't move the truck. I block the road until they put it back. It's just like you said, Ronnie B. They're freaking Nazis. Half the time, 4 o'clock in the morning when you're driving, you see them over here alongside the road sleeping in their car. You honk the horn, you wake them up. It scares the hell out of them. Then they come see what you want. It's just incredible, Ronnie. I was in the Marines for 8 years. I took 2 rounds, Afghanistan and Iraq. You know, they asked me, "Are you an American citizen?" I looked them dead in the eye and I said, "I'm more of an American citizen than you'll ever be." These kids you give them a gun, you give them a badge, they get the Barney complex.
All right, Don. Thanks, buddy. The weird thing, too, is like, what the hell would we do without trucks? You know what I mean? But these guys are saying, if they decide one day, all right, we're not running fucking trucks anymore.
Trucker strike?
You'll see a lot of starving fucking people. Because they don't know how to get any food unless a truck brings it to their store.
Oh, shit don't move without
We're crazy sometimes, man.
It's part of the truck driving job now, though. It's like I'm not a big fan of being up in a skyscraper, but this is where the job is.
It doesn't even make sense to me. I think it'd be a lot different than if you were being fucking shut down.
Yeah. We got badges. We don't need to get fucking shook down here. Imagine we had to go fucking get patted down every time walking through the elevator bank.
I can't even stand when they do it with guests.
Oh, yeah, with the
I'm
fucking
always embarrassed
with
about
fucking
that.
X-ray machine. Get the fuck out of here.
Here, let me run your computer through this X-ray machine.
And food and shit.
Ugh.
We got irradiated food coming up here sometimes. Bullshit.
See, now this is the right-wing fucking radio guy. This is the paranoid guy.
They're pumping fucking X-rays into our food, people. It's all giving us cancer.
You can't take it anymore.
The fuck? We gotta fight back. This is a bunch of bullshit.
I got a peaceful, easy feeling, and I know you won't let me down. There's a
Better?